Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is English Bulletin with me, Utsa Bhattrai. The top stories first. Murdered convict police officer Ranjan Koirala released from jail. Early release of the Supreme Court reduces his sentence. Two arrested for acid attack against a woman in capital. The victim receiving treatment in Kirtipur hospital. Coronavirus claims one more life in Nepal. Active cases dropped to 5,300. Pakistan accuses India of increased shelling in Kashmir. Says India trying to distract attention from unrest. And Juventus miss out on title opportunity, losing to Udinese. Ronaldo overtaken in the race for Golden Boot. And now, the news in detail. Former DIG of Armed Police Force Ranjan Koirala, who was serving jail term for murdering his wife, has been released from prison. The high-ranking police officer has been released from jail upon the order of the Supreme Court. The District Court had convicted Koirala of murdering his wife and handed him a life sentence 8 years ago. Koirala was released from jail after the Apex Court last month reduced his sentence to 8 years and 6 months. A division bench of Chief Justice Cholendra Samsher Jabara Rana and Justice Tej Bahadur Kesi had reduced his sentence on June 29. The bench observed that Koirala killed his wife Geeta Thakal in a fit of anger instead of making a planned murder. Therefore, the bench decided to reduce the sentence, considering that Koirala has to take care of their two sons and ensure proper education for them. Police had arrested Koirala from Thankot on February 11, 2012, while he was returning from the place where he had disposed his wife's body. Meanwhile, former DIG Ranjan Koirala of Armed Police Force, serving jail term for murdering his wife Geeta Koirala, was released from Delhi Bazar jail yesterday. The victim's family lamented that the Supreme Court's decision to reduce the jail sentence of a killer has set a wrong precedent in the society. The District Court and High Court had earlier slapped Koirala with a life sentence and confiscation of property. A division bench of Chief Justice Cholendra Samsher Jabara Rana and Tej Bahadur Kesi reduced Koirala's jail term to 8 years and 6 months, waiving off 11 years of jail term. Speaking to the press after DIG Koirala's release, Hariram Thakal, father of the deceased Geeta Thakal, said Supreme Court's decision has given a wrong message to the society. The court has exemplified impunity in society, encouraging the wrongdoers, Thakal added.
यो त पक्कै पनि हामीलाई अन्याय भयो। यो डेफिनेटली चाहिँ हामी त पीडित मान्छे हौं। भोलि हामीले सोचेका थियौं त्यो चाहिँ हत्या गर्ने निर्ममतापूर्वक हत्या गरेको छ। त्यो निर्ममतापूर्वक हत्या गरेको व्यक्तिले कमसेकम चाहिँ नेपालको कानुन अनुसार जति वर्ष चाहिँ जेल सजाय हुनुपर्छ त्यो त उले जेल सजाय हुनु पर्ने हो नि, पाउनु पर्ने हो नि।
The government has filed a review petition at the Supreme Court challenging the decision to release Koirala. Police have nabbed two accused in connection with acid attack against a 22-year-old woman in the valley yesterday. According to the police, 22-year-old Pavitra Karki from Okhaldhunga was attacked with acid yesterday evening on her way to a nearby shop to buy some grocery items. The arrested have been identified as Muhammad Alam from Dallu, Kathmandu, who is a permanent resident of Lakshmipur in Rautahat, and an Indian national, Munna Muhammad. The victim has been admitted to Kirtipur hospital and is receiving treatment at the hospital's burn unit. The victim had been working in the account section of Hyatt Regency Hotel, Kathmandu, and was reportedly staying at home after the lockdown. The victim has sustained burns on her face and hands. Further investigation is underway, police informed. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. We continue with other national news. Coronavirus has claimed one more life in Nepal. According to the government, a 70-year-old man from Maistan in Birganj has become the latest victim of the disease. Spokesperson at the Ministry of Health and Population, Dr. Jageshwar Gautam, confirmed the death of an elderly person. He informed that the victim was admitted to Narayani Hospital after complaining of a breathing problem and died while undergoing treatment 2 days ago. With this, the total number of deaths due to coronavirus in Nepal has climbed to 43. Meanwhile, the ministry confirmed 147 new cases of coronavirus in the country. The total number of coronavirus cases in Nepal has surged to 18,241. Among them, 12,840 have been discharged from hospital after complete recovery. The number of active cases at present stands at 5,358, according to the Health Ministry. Meanwhile, a total of 20,098 persons are currently being kept in quarantine facilities across the country. A prohibitory order was issued in Rajbaraj municipality of Saptari following confirmation of the spread of coronavirus in the region. The District Administration Office issued the indefinite prohibitory order on Wednesday after it was confirmed that 13 of the 14 cases of coronavirus in Saptari was from Rajbaraj. An emergency meeting of the District Security Committee on Wednesday decided to issue the prohibitory order starting from 5 in the morning from Thursday in the city area. Chief District Officer Sankar Hari Acharya informed that the decision to issue the prohibitory order was to help prevent the spread of coronavirus in the region. A parliamentary committee of the Law House has directed the government to determine if the lands belonging to religious sites across the country have been encroached by individuals or by any private organizations. International Relations Committee of the Parliament has directed the government to find out if lands belonging to religious sites such as Pasupatinath, Changu Narayan, Lumbini, Janaki Mandir, including other religious sites, have been encroached. The committee has also directed the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation to return back any encroached land or property to concerned authority if such cases are uncovered.
सम्पदा प्राचीन स्मारक र अभिलेखहरूको संरक्षणमा खोज अनुसन्धान गरी गुरु योजना निर्माणमा पुरातत्व विभागको संलग्नता अनिवार्य गर्दै युनेस्कोको मापदण्डभित्र रही कार्यहरू अगाडि बढाउने
Chairperson Pavitra Niraula informed that the concerned ministry has also been directed to come up with a master plan for the protection and conservation of ancient structures and heritage sites with archaeological importance. The concerned ministry has also been suggested to coordinate with the Department of Archaeology to protect the cultural and religious sites while also working in close cooperation with the provincial and local level government in accordance to the criteria set by UNESCO, the committee further informed. And now the news from Economic Front. The share markets index improved on the final transaction day of the week. NIPSE index rose by 10.13 points to reach 1,442.16 on Thursday. The sensitive index, which measures the A-class indices, also rose by 0.74 points. The indices of development banks and mutual funds saw a slight decrease yesterday, with almost all other groups seeing an increase. Yesterday, a total of 3.39 million units of shares underwent transaction worth 1.32 billion rupees for 187 companies. Investor of Taragao Regency Hotel and Mirmire Microfinance Development Bank earned the highest at 10% profit. However, the investors of Multipurpose Finance Company and Himalayan Energy Development Company incurred a loss of 5%. We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now the international news. Pakistan's military this week said there had been an escalation in firing and shelling across the de facto border that separates Pakistani and Indian-controlled Kashmir, Reuters reported. According to the news agency, the shelling comes at a time of heightened diplomatic tensions between the nuclear-armed neighbours. Major General Amir Ahsan Nawaz, the commander of Pakistani troops in Kashmir, accused the Indian military of trying to distract attention from unrest in its part of Kashmir. The Muslim-majority Himalayan region has been at the heart of more than 70 years of animosity since the partition of British-ruled India into Muslim Pakistan and majority Hindu India in 1947. 2 of the 3 wars they have fought since have been over Kashmir. Pakistan's military said that in 2019, when ceasefire violations hit a more than decade-high peak, there were just over 3,500 incidents. Already in 2020, there have been almost 1,800 violations, the Pakistan military said, adding that the surge during the move violate summer season since June had been more pronounced than in previous year. Indian Army spokesman Colonel Aman Ansad rejected Pakistan's allegation, saying Pakistan's military had violated the ceasefire on more than 2,500 occasions this year. Tensions intensified last year when India revoked the autonomy of its portion of Kashmir. China launched its most ambitious Mars mission yet yesterday in a bold attempt to join the United States in successfully landing a spacecraft on the Red Planet. According to AP, a Long March 5 rocket took off under clear skies from Hainan Island, south of China's mainland, as space enthusiasts gathered on a beach across the bay from the launch site. Launch Commander Zhang Zhu announced to cheers in the control room that the rocket was flying normally about 45 minutes later. The Mars rover has accurately entered the scheduled orbit, he said in brief remarks shown live on state broadcaster CCTV. China's space agency said that the rocket carried the probe for 36 minutes before successfully placing it on the looping path that will take it beyond Earth's orbit and eventually into Mars' more distant orbit around the Sun. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Juventus lost out on the opportunity to wrap up the Serie A title as they lost to relegation-battling Udinese. Juventus had led through a Matthijs de Ligt's powerful drive in the 42nd minute, but Ilija Nestrovski headed in an equaliser just after the game to level the match at 1-1. As Juventus pushed for a winner, Seko Fofana produced a wonder goal for Udinese by running halfway through the pitch and slotting the ball home in the 92nd minute. The loss means Juventus stay on 80 points, needing 3 points from the final 3 games to win the title. They are followed by Atalanta on 74 points, Inter Milan on 73, Lazio on 72 points. Star striker Cristiano Ronaldo was also overtaken in the race for the Golden Boot as Lazio striker Ciro Immobile scored his 31st goal of the season in Lazio's 2-1 win over Cagliari, taking him 1 above Ronaldo's total. The head of the Professional Game Match Officials Limited, Mike Riley, will present his season's review of the video assistant referee system on Friday at a Premier League shareholders meeting. FIFA took over direct responsibility of VAR from football rulemakers IFAB on 1st July and is expected to insist on greater consistency across more than 100 club leagues. The move was seen as a way of bringing the Premier League into line with other competitions. England's top flight had opted against checking for goalkeepers moving off their There has been huge controversy around individual VAR decisions in the Premier League, which has created a mixed opinion about the use of technology in the game. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin at the headlines once again. Murder convict police officer Ranjan Koirala released from jail. Early release after Supreme Court reduced his sentence. 2 arrested for acid attack against a woman in capital. The victim receiving treatment in Kirtipur hospital. Coronavirus claims 1 more life in Nepal. Active cases dropped to 5,300. Pakistan accuses India of increased shelling in Kashmir, says India trying to distract attention from unrest. And Juventus miss out on title opportunity, losing to Udinese. Ronaldo overtaken in the race for Golden Boot. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website at janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.